Hello everyone and welcome to cEDH Portuguese League. This week we bring you a gameplay from the semi-final of our last tournament quest for the Cradle. Before we start, a shout out to our patrons for helping us bring you more content and better tournaments. If you enjoy our content or want to help us grow even more, you can do so by becoming our patron, clicking on the link in the description below and leaving a like and subscribe. Now to the game. Miguel is piloting Thrasios Tevesh, a mid-range deck that takes advantage of both its commander's abilities to gain card advantage to eventually land a win con at the table. Henrique playing Anje Falconwrath, a proactive deck that focuses on the Madness ability and its commanders to filter through his deck in order to find and assemble a World Gorger Dragon combo line. Samuel piloting Tymna Thrasios, a proactive deck that takes advantage of powerful card draw abilities and tutors to finish the game as early as possible. And last but not least, Milomej, playing Tymna Kraum Blue Farm, a deck that focuses on quickly assembling one-card combo enablers like Ad Nauseam or Intuition to be the first to win the game. Miguel kept his opening hand with a Command Tower and an exotic Orchard for lands, a Chrome Ox and a Jeweled Lodge for early ramp, a Malevolent Hermit for interaction, a Tainted Pact and a Laboratory Maniac to try an early win. Henrique mulliganed once and kept a starting hand with a Gemstone Caverns and a Prismatic Vista for lands, a Nightshade Assassin, a Demonic Tutor and an Entomb to tutor out for some win con, a Deflecting Sword for protection and an Animate Death. Samuel also mulliganed once and kept a hand with an Underground Sea and a Watery Grave for lands, a Mox Diamond and a Carpet of Flowers for early ramp, a Draenei's Magistrate to slow down its opponents, a Swan Song for interaction and a Spellseeker to tutor out for a win con or interaction. Milomej too mulliganed once and kept a starting hand with a Verdant Catacomb, a Polluted Delta, an Hallowed Fountain, and a Watery Grave for lands, a Mana Vault and a Rites of Flame for early ramp, and an Intuition to enable his combo. Milomej won the die roll and is starting first. Before Milomej starts the game off, Henrique has a pre-game action and plays a Gemstone Caverns exiling a Nightshade Assassin. Milomej goes to his turn. On his main phase he plays a Verdant Catacomb. He cracks it, losing 1 life to fetch for a Badlands, and plays a Mana Vault before passing. Miguel draws. He plays a Command Tower, followed by a Jeweled Lodge and a Chrome Ox, exiling a Neoform. He plays his commander Tevesh and activates it right away to put 2 Trolls into the battlefield. Afterwards, he passes. Henrique moves to his turn. On his main phase, he plays a Prismatic Vista. He loses 1 life to fetch for a Swamp, and follows it with a Demonic Tutor. No one responds, and Henrique fetches for a card to his hand before passing. Samuel draws. He plays an Underground Sea. He follows it with a Mox Diamond, pitching a Watery Grave, and his commander Thrasios, shipping the turn this way. Milomej draws. He plays a Polluted Delta, losing 1 life right after to fetch for a Tundra. He plays Kraum, and moves to combat right away, sending it at Tevesh for 4 damage and passes. Miguel moves to his turn. On his main phase he plays an Exotic Orchard. He follows it, activating Tevesh's second ability to draw 2 cards. He plays a Carpet of Flowers and moves to his second main phase, triggering it to add 1 blue mana to his mana pool. He plays a Malevolent Hermit, triggering Kraum, and passes. Henrique on his turn draws. He plays a Jeweled Lodge and sacrifices it right away to play his commander Anje, triggering Kraum, and ships the turn. Samuel draws. He plays a Scalding Tarn, taking 1 damage to fetch for a Tropical Island. He follows it with his second commander Tymna the Weaver and moves to combat, sending Thrasios at Milomej for 1 damage. On his second main phase, he loses 1 life to draw from Tymna's trigger and Samuel passes. Milomej moves to his turn. On his upkeep, he takes 1 damage from the Mana Vault. On his main phase, he plays a Bloodstained Mire. He moves to combat, sending once again Kraum at Tevesh for 4 damage, killing it this way. On his second main phase, he takes 1 damage to fetch for an Underground Sea, shipping the turn right after to Miguel. He draws. At the beginning of his main phase, the Carpet triggers. Miguel adds 2 black mana to his mana pool. But while shuffling his deck, Milomej dropped some cards from the deck onto his hand and a judge was called to the table to solve the problem. A random player was chosen, Milomej reveals his hand to the table and the chosen opponent decides which card is put back into Milomej's deck. Miguel proceeds with his turn, playing an Undergrowth Stadium. He follows it with a Laboratory Maniac, to which Milomej immediately responds with a Dress Down. It resolves and Milomej stops any attempt Miguel had to win this turn. He moves to combat, sending his Malevolent Hermit at Milomej for 2 damage. Before damage resolution, Henrique plays an Entomb, but Miguel answers it with an Opposition Agent. He realizes that due to the Dress Down's ability, the Opposition Agent didn't work, so Henrique fetched for a World Gorger Dragon to his graveyard and lets the damage resolve. Miguel passes the turn after that. Henrique draws. Since most of his opponents are tapped out, he decides to take the opportunity and go for the win. He plays an Animate Death targeting the World Gorger Dragon. No one responds, and he starts a loop with Animate Dead and the World Gorger Dragon. Each time the dragon leaves the battlefield, he nets 1 black and 1 colorless mana. Henrique then starts to activate his commander's ability every time to filter through his deck until he finds the Simian Spirit's Guide and the Navasin's Judgment. He plays it right away, triggering Kraum, exiling the Simian Spirit Guide for 1 red mana and dumps all of its mana into the spell to kill his opponent. Unfortunately, Milomis didn't draw an answer, so the Avasin's Judgment resolved. GG. This was a great game, but in the end, only 1 player from this match could move to the finals. Congratulations, Henrique. This has been a long tournament filled with a lot of good plays, but in the end, we can only have 4 players in the finals next week. So here they are: Kaká piloting Tymna Kraum, Henrique playing Anje Falconwrath, Gambash playing Cole the Forge Master, and Fabio playing Kark Sakashima. So stay tuned next week to know who won the tournament. As always, if you like our content and would like to see more, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can always become a patron for early access to our videos and other rewards. Thank you very much, see you in the next one. We would like to thank the SplitSecond for the partnership, the Monarch team for providing us with a Squire bot to help us run our tournaments, and the Renat Vid for providing us the plays.